Jonathan is 4 years old. He's been at Space Coast for about 1.5 years. We found at his previous daycare he was kind of getting lost in the shuffle. He wasn't getting enough attention. The staff there was having a hard time managing him, and he really wasn't hitting the development milestones that he should.
And I tried a traditional preschool and it wasn't a good fit. And so when I looked further into it, I heard about Space Coast, and we came and took a look, and I felt like they get my daughter already.
I decided to work here because all they have to offer. It's not just a daycare. We're not just sitting here watching children. We're really teaching. We're making a huge difference. I decided to bring my own son here. He has a speech delay, so the great thing was that they have 2 therapists that come here, work with him.
The reason I wanted to bring Daniel here, we did as a family, was because he could work alongside with other typical children, because Daniel has some delays, and so we wanted that model approach for him.
That's certainly one of the best parts of this school, is that in her classroom there are typically developing children and children who develop a little bit differently like she does. And so she has kids who model for her what typically developing kids are doing at that age group, and she loves that.
As a typical developing, she's like the role model in the classroom, so it's actually good for her and others.
Who's a friend here at school?
Shelby.
She has learned that everyone's different and everyone's unique in their own way. And I think that's a good quality in life to know.
Being with all the kids together, they learn that nobody is different. Nobody is, separate from or less or more. So that's a very good thing that we found in this school, and that's why we chose the school as well.
Well, the one thing that sets Space Coast Early Intervention Center apart from other facilities for kids who are in preschool is that it is a school. It's not a daycare center. Daycare centers, the kids come in and they basically get to free play and nap and do those sorts of things during the day. Where here, the teachers actually teach.
My older boys had gone to private school, and they were in a class of anywhere between 20 and 30. With Caden, his kindergarten, and now he's in 1st grade, the teacher ratio, there's 2 teachers in his class and I believe about 13 children. So it really gives the teachers the opportunity to focus on each individual child.
I think there's 10 kids in his class. He's got 2 teachers. They're trained on, how to handle him as opposed to just going to a typical school. And the school is so good with working with the therapists that come from early steps in the school board and, private therapists.
We decided to come here because she was born with hydrocephalus and then later diagnosed with cerebral palsy, and then just recently epilepsy. So the school has been great for her. They've really been able to accommodate all of her needs as a special needs kid. She's not walking yet, so I wouldn't feel comfortable sending her anywhere else.
The fact that they had experience with seizures and they knew the different types of seizures and how to react to them was, I think, what impressed us the most.
His therapists can come in and work with him. They can either pull him out and they have separate therapy rooms for that, or they can work with him in the classroom.
Yeah, the therapy embedded in the school is important for generalization. I mean, a lot of times parents take their students off-site, and then those skills never generalize to the classroom where a lot of the problem behaviors occur. So it's really helpful from both a therapist standpoint, and I'm sure the teachers appreciate it as well.
What I find is these teachers collaborate with me brilliantly. It's not that I know more than they do. We share ideas back and forth on each individual child.
They're more caring, they want the kids to succeed. They do everything in their power and go out of their way to make sure the kids get everything that they need.
Well, my name's Amanda, and this is Shawnee. Shawnee was diagnosed with autism earlier this year. He's going to be 3 in March. It's hard to kind of wrap your head around it and understand what exactly that means. I feel like I didn't really know much about autism before the diagnosis. I didn't have a lot of answers, so it was really difficult, and there was a lot of meltdowns, and it was just very challenging. Since he started school here, he has been just exceeding and excelling. And the great thing about Space Coast Early Intervention Center is I feel like they really teach with love, and I feel like that makes all the difference in the progress of the child.
Those are just a few of the parents who were eager to say thank you to you, our donors. They appreciate, just as I do, that your support makes possible something that is unique in our area, a school that focuses on inclusion where developmentally challenged children are taught side by side with typically developing children, providing an enriched experience for both. You also support an exceptional student-to-teacher ratio that allows for a child-centered curriculum for each individual student from day one. Space Coast Early Intervention Center is not a daycare. It's a place of learning and acceptance. It exists because of you, our loyal donors. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.